I want to thank you all for stopping by today for this training. We're going to try to give you some really good information to help you grow your practice. I'd like to start with a little bit of clarification on who this is for. Now, most of our clients are small practice owners and providers who are trying to grow med spas, plastic surgeons, hair restoration firms, and anti-aging centers. Owners who are trying to grow their businesses quickly and interested in some innovative new strategies. I know that a lot of webinars start out with a lot of fluff, but I'm a big fan of getting right down to the point. So let's jump right in. Now, there are a few promises I would like to make for you today with this training. I want you to leave here with some value, so I'd like to promise you the following. If you hang out with us here during this training and you're serious about the growth of your practice and follow our suggestions, we'll teach you how to add thousands of dollars in extra revenue for your practice, even if that seems out of reach right now. We'll teach you and your staff how to convert more procedures, turning prospects into the exact patients that you want at the price you want. We'll show you how to command premium pricing, even when your competitors are targeting your patients for less. And we'll show you how to do it all far easier without working more hours and without stressing yourself out. Finally, my last promise to you is this. If you stay with me till the end, we'll show you how to grow 2 to 4 new procedures per week for your practice, spending less money. Sound good? Let's get started. Now, to begin with, there's nothing for sale here. We're not going to ask you for any money here today. So sit back, take some notes, click out of Facebook and Skype, stop texting people. Just pay attention and we're going to hook you up. Now, let me ask you a serious question. Does this sound like you? Do you have some months where new patients just roll into your practice, but you can't seem to maintain it? Do you start out each month wondering where the new patients are going to come from? Do you sometimes feel like your patient counselors and your front desk aren't helping you convert prospects into patients? Do you see other providers and practices making the kind of money that you want to make and you have no idea how they're doing it? Do you secretly know that your work is better than the practice down the road, but you're worried if you raise your prices that no one's going to pay them? Are you working way too hard in your practice, too many hours, and burning yourself out just to keep your head above water? And do you sometimes feel like there's an invisible ceiling on your income from your practice? Every day, we talk to plastic surgeons, med spa owners, chiropractors, and other cash practice owners that feel exactly the same way. And we know that practice owners like you are getting bombarded with all kinds of advertising offers, all kinds of different marketing firms, which are all promising to drive all kinds of patients in your door, but you always end up disappointed in how many patients that you and your patient counselors are actually converting. If any of this sounds familiar, we have great news for you, because none of these are the real problem. The real reason why your practice isn't rolling the way that you want it to roll is you haven't turned the 5 keys. And once you start turning these 5 keys, you'll unlock the practice of your dreams in a matter of weeks. Once you've turned these 5 keys, you're going to have complete control over who you work with, how you serve them, and the prices you command. Your team will be able to convert more procedures using marketing and consultations that establish you as the authority in your market. You'll realize that the invisible ceiling on your income was never there to begin with. And you're going to be able to push through to an additional 2 to 4 procedures more per week and add thousands and thousands of extra dollars faster than you ever thought possible. And you're going to do all of this tapping back into the hope and excitement you once had when you first started your practice. The one thing you need to know is this. There are 5 simple keys that you have to turn to add these 2 to 4 procedures each week to your practice to turn your practice into what you had originally envisioned. And we're going to walk through exactly what those keys are today. A little bit about myself. My name is Ronnie Talent. For the past 25 years, I've been a top consultant for some large medical and aesthetic practices. I did sales and marketing for Hair Club for Men. I was also senior counselor for Bosley Medical Group. I also owned my own hair loss center for about 17 years. We were recognized in national magazines as one of the top 200 fastest growing hair businesses in North America for 2 years in a row. Our work has been seen on Undercover Boss, Project Runway, GQ, One Tree Hill, Maxim, and countless other publications, movies, and TV shows. Over the past 20 years, I've had the opportunity to talk to nearly 16,000 people through my consulting work. At the Cash Practice Network, we're a consulting firm that helps practices grow. We provide training materials, consulting, and lead acquisition for small independent practices. Now, like we said, there are 5 things you need to do to be successful. We're going to take a minute to go through each one of them. So early in my sales and marketing career, I was fascinated by the top achievers. In every one of these firms I worked with, there were always a couple of top dogs, a couple of consistent top performers that would outperform all the other offices. Now, I've always been kind of competitive, so I started studying what made the top offices the way they were. See, I wanted to make my mark, So I really started studying different things that the top producers were doing. And I started figuring some stuff out. And I became one of the top dogs. So over the years, as we started training new providers and practices, I really started paying attention to the ones that were taking off. Some of the people, the providers and consultants would listen to what I recommended and we'd see their revenues really take off. But some of them would listen, but maybe they wanted to try things their own way and got okay results. But once we really examined the ones that took off, the ones that really grew quickly and saw the revenues go up by leaps and bounds, they all had these 5 things that they were doing. Some of the practices grew to multiple offices. Others grew by millions of dollars. The people who were succeeding were the people that did these 5 things. Number 1, you need to be honest about the best possible options for your patient. The truth is, there are a lot of practices that don't do this. They'll tell half-truths and not give patients the whole picture. By being honest with people in your info calls and in your consultations, you're going to set yourself apart from your competitors. People can handle the truth if you present it the right way. There is a way of communicating difficult information that is honest and it's presented in a way that your new patients are going to respect. Quick example, a fairly aggressive hair restoration procedure can use from 1,800 to 3,000 grafts or follicular units per session. As many of you know, they take it from the back of your head and transplant it to the area of need. Many patients will have to do this 2 or even 3 times to get some good coverage on the top of their head. I know transplant clinics who will tell people that 400 to 800 grafts will do the job simply to close the deal. Problem is, a few months down the road, the patient's going to be upset when they see how little hair's grown back. Be honest. If you can tell them the truth and you can communicate why they're going to want that extra density, they're going to trust you more. Patients do their homework. If you tell them the truth and get really good on building the value, you'll make more and the patients will be happier. Also, understand that people buy from people that they trust, like, and are like them. You want them to look at you as somebody who's confident, who wants the best quality, and understands a good value when it's presented to them. Next, command premium pricing. Believe it or not, sometimes it's actually easier to be the higher price option. I'll tell you without a shadow of a doubt that many of the clients that have paid me the most money were often the ones that were the most serious about taking care of their investment, and they were some of my best clients. Not only because they paid me more, because they valued the result more. Many people don't mind paying top dollar for top quality. Now, you're not selling your time. You're not selling a procedure. You're selling the value of the result.
What do you do if a blonde throws a grenade at you? Pull the pin and throw it back.
Not only because they paid me more, because they valued the result more. Many people don't mind paying top dollar for top quality. Now, you're not selling your time. You're not selling a procedure. You're selling the value of the result. Look, there are a bunch of different practices and options out there that address the same problem that you do. Many times, when patients are thinking about moving forward with a procedure, it can be a little scary. And having a well-trained expert guide them through this difficult decision is key to them when making a decision to do something that could change how they feel about themselves. There are only two reasons why you're not charging high prices. Either you don't believe that your expertise is worth it, or you think it's worth it, but you believe that nobody's going to pay it. In my opinion, you want to present yourself as the best option in your area, which means that you are going to be offering the best quality products and services. Here's an example. I've worked with all kinds of different doctors. One of the practices I've worked with specialized in men's sexual health, dealing with erectile dysfunction and male enhancement. This particular doctor was also certified as a trainer and had trained doctors all over the country. Think for a minute on how that could change your presentation. Your prospect calls 3 different companies for information on an enhancement procedure. Let's say all of your competitors are charging $1,800. Now you can say, look, we know that there are a couple options out there in the marketplace for less. And if price is your sole focus, we totally get it. We totally understand. Our fees are a little bit more. They start about $24.99. But here's why. Now, the reason why we're so busy is we actually do this procedure differently. Dr. Smith is actually a national trainer, and he has a more focused protocol that looks at the overall health of your sexual function. As a result, not only do we see some outstanding results, our procedure is also done in a way that makes it a more comfortable procedure because we know it's a sensitive area. See, many of the people that come and see us have actually gone to some of the lower price competitors and have heard that he has a new protocol to actually fix the problem. Now, our fees are a little bit higher, but our patients have told us that the results have been worth it. They would rather go to one of the teachers rather than one of the students. Sometimes commanding a higher price actually reassures them that you're the person that understands what's important to them. At the end of the day, they want results, and they also want to know that you're concerned about their comfort. Often, they're willing to pay more for that. Next, use the secret weapon, target marketing. When I first got into the industry, the way people found out about hair loss options was through infomercials. Remember those late night infomercials? Those TV spots were supported by big Yellow Page campaigns. It's a different world now. When was the last time you used the Yellow Pages? The internet has made it easier to reach people quicker and cheaper. A lot of us now are using Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn to build our businesses. You can do all of these things, and we show people how to set all that up, but there's also a secret weapon. It's called target marketing. Here's an example of target marketing. There was a service called the Standard Rate and Data Service. It's also known as the SRDS. It's a directory of mailing lists. Now, they had mailing lists for everything, including hair loss. A little while back, I wanted to do a promotion. I wanted to find out if there was a list of people in the state of North Carolina who were suffering from hair loss. As it turned out, there was a hair loss supplement company that sold through radio ads that offered a free bottle of their hair loss vitamins that they would send you if you simply sent them $5 for shipping. You may have heard their radio commercials. You could order that list by city, state, zip, email address, and how current a list it was. They also offered something called a hotline list that was only 6 months old. Think for a second the benefits of ordering this list over traditional advertising. If you're doing traditional advertising, you're advertising to everyone, and thousands of people are going to hear your ad that have absolutely no interest in what you're selling. My way, every single person that sees my ad were so bothered by their hair loss that they actually took out their credit card and ordered this product within the past 6 months. So I ordered for the states of North and South Carolina. I only wanted records that had name and email address. We ended up spending about $1,500 on the list and the mailing. That mailing went on to make us about $40,000 within the next 2 months. You think that's cool? It's even easier to target now. Now, a lot of targeting options are online. It's amazing how targeting is being used these days. Quick example. Where is the first place that many people discuss their hair loss? In my experience, it's usually at their hairstylist. With geofencing, you can actually have your hair restoration ads pop up on their phone while they're at the hairdresser. You can have your weight loss clinic ads pop up on their phone while they're at the gym. So there's lead generation, but there's also variations of the consultation itself. Last year, I helped launch a new procedure for one of our doctors. This was an anti-aging practice that was looking for new revenue streams. I identified a new technology that I believe that could generate more revenue easily for the practice. That procedure brought in an additional $100,000 in the first 60 days. But what was truly interesting about that was this. Those initial presentations were all done over the phone. It's a different world out there. You can make presentations easily over the phone, Skype, or FaceTime. I've closed millions of dollars over the phone, and it could be something that you could add to your practice to give you an edge. Think about it this way. Someone's online. They're researching a procedure. They see your practice and your competitor's practice. They call you both up. They'd like to come in for a consultation, but their day off is next Thursday. So they think about maybe setting up consultations at both practices on their day off. You know what I would do? I would say something like this. Hey, I don't know if you know this, but we do Skype and FaceTime consultations. As luck would have it, we have an opening in about 20 minutes. What's your schedule like? If they're calling now, they're hot now. I don't want them to wait till next Thursday to cool off. Either do you. Next, you need to secure your patients with creative financing alternatives. Let's say you have a $3,000 procedure that you want to promote. You're starting to get some interest from your marketing, you're making presentations, and you have some interested patients. As we all know, many aesthetic procedures aren't covered by insurance, and many of your prospective patients may not have $3,000 or more on their credit cards. Many practices are already hooked up with a finance company. If you are, that's a great first step. There are fantastic finance companies that can give you an instant approval and offer interest-free financing, sometimes up to 24 months. But what if your patient doesn't qualify for that? You may want to consider offering your own financing. Number one, it guarantees cash flow for your business. You have a predictable income. Practice owners spend money on advertising. You spend money paying staff. And you want to have an idea about when the money's coming in. Having a bunch of people on membership or continuity plans gives you the assurance that you're going to be able to pay your bills. Next, you control the money. You're not sitting around waiting for somebody to walk in your door. You're actually debiting their accounts once a month. If you set up your membership plan the right way, sometimes your patients are saving a little bit of money simply being on a continuity plan. But often, you're making more. Here's another benefit of doing things this way. They're debiting once a month for their membership dues or fees. We set up our debits on the 1st and the 15th of each month, which is also payday for my staff. That also makes sure on those dates, the needed money is there in the bank. Next, a continuity program gives you the ability to make more sales. As your business grows, you're going to see that your patients are going to appreciate these membership and continuity programs. Let's say that you have a new patient who wants a high margin service, and that's going to cost him or her $3,400 for their services for the year. Why don't you offer this? $1,500 down and $199 a month. Let's do the math. The first way, you get $3,400. The second way, you get $1,500 down and a monthly bank draft of $199.
What's the difference between a blonde and a brick? If you lay a brick, it doesn't follow you around for 2 weeks.
For 12 months. If you add that all up, you get the deposit, that's $1,500, and the other payments add up to $23.88 for a total of $38.88. For many people, $3,400 is a lot of money to come up with at once. However, that same patient might be able to easily come up with $1,500 in a one-year membership auto draft of $199 a month. It's a nice option for people to have. And if you like, you can still offer the $3,400 as a discount if they want to pay up front. You just gave yourself a raise. You made an additional $488, over 14% more, simply from structuring it differently. Here's the thing you need to be aware of. If you've done a good job in the previous step of building more value, they're already leaning towards you. But add the fact that initially they wouldn't have to come up with as much money up front, it could drastically impact how many patients you close. Let's be conservative and say that you're able to get an extra 25 more procedures in the next few months. On top of the upfront money, that's nearly $5,000 a month in residual cash flow that you're simply running automatically. I've seen businesses and practices run that monthly debit 10 times that, an extra $50,000 to $75,000 more that you can count on each month, which comes in really handy when things are slow. And the last of the 5 keys is one of the most important. Number 5, get a mentor. You can try to figure all this out on your own, or you can surround yourself with people who have the experience and the specialty that can get you pointed in the right direction from day one. I was fortunate to have some great people who helped me over the course of my career. They got me headed in the right direction, and we helped each other out over the years. At the Cash Practice Network, we've assembled a great team of professionals that help our clients. But whether you use us or not, you want to pattern yourself after someone who's done this successfully. I believe it was Tony Robbins who said this phrase, and it's always stuck with me. Success leaves clues. Look at somebody who's gotten the results that you desire and do what they did. There are so many new opportunities out there for cash practice owners, and it's a great time to take advantage of some of these strategies. Trying to figure all of this out yourself could take years, but working with a firm or a mentor that is familiar with these growth strategies could help you impact your practice's bottom line in a matter of weeks. So let's recap. These are the 5 keys that you need to turn to add 2 to 4 more procedures. Number 1, be honest about the best possible options for your client. It's going to pay off for you in the long run. Next, charge premium pricing. Get paid. Next, implement the secret weapon, target marketing. Go after the people who already have an interest in what you're offering. Next, secure your clients and patients with creative financing. Give your patients more options and you'll close more procedures. And you need a mentor to save you time. We've been using these strategies for years and we've helped countless practices grow. It doesn't matter how good your marketing is. Do these things, you're going to convert more. Now, there is no escaping cause and effect. You need to focus and dial in on these 5 principles, and most importantly, you need to take action. Look, if you want to attract decisive patients, you need to be decisive. If you want to attract patients who are willing to pay a premium price to grow your business, you better be willing to do the same. Now, let's talk about our promises. We promised we'd show you how to add thousands in extra revenue for your practice, even if it seemed out of reach. We wanted to show you and your staff how to convert more procedures, turning prospects into the exact patients that you wanted at the price you wanted. We wanted to show you how to command premium pricing, even when your competitors were targeting your patients for less. And we wanted to show you how to do all of this far easier without working more hours and stressing yourself out. And finally, we wanted to show you how to grow quickly, 2 to 4 new procedures per week for your practice, spending less money. Here's all you need to win. You need to be honest about the best possible options for your patients. You need to command premium pricing. You need to use the secret weapon, target marketing. You need to use creative financing alternatives. And if you want fast results, you need to invest in mentoring. These keys alone are enough to propel you to 2 to 4 additional procedures per week. Now you have a choice. Now, some people are going to attend this class, they're going to take some notes and forget about it. They go back to their practice, they'll go back to their old systems and hope that more patients magically walk through the door. We want to offer you a better option. Are you committed to take your business and practice to the next level? Do you want to have the kind of practice that you always wanted? A practice that could grow, that was more profitable, and had a well-trained staff that was highly skilled in generating revenue for your bottom line? Are you sick and tired of losing patients to your competition? And do you want to be known as the premier option for your services in your city? Do you want to have the same passion for your practice that you used to have and look forward to the next step in your growth? Do you want the security and freedom that your practice could bring if it was suddenly more profitable? If so, we'd like to talk to you. My team and I have set aside some time in the next week to speak with you personally about how you could apply these ideas to your practice starting today. The cost? Free. This is a strategy call. We would like to outline steps that we might recommend to head your practice down the right path. And if you like what you hear and we see your business as a good fit, we might offer you an opportunity to become one of our clients that we take on this month. Now, who is this for? You have to be a cash practice owner who is committed to growing their practice. You must be absolutely committed to hitting your income goals with total integrity and a true concern for your patient's well-being. We would also have to be comfortable that you and your patient counselors are open to coaching and new ideas. It's been said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. We want to offer you new solutions. We need to be confident that you'll at least listen to what we propose. Now, if we work together, we're going to put you through the exact same programs and processes we put our top practices through. Our training is designed to convert more high-ticket procedures to your practice, giving you maximum leverage. We'll expect you to start adding more procedures in a matter of weeks. Now, we only work with about 5 to 10 new practices per month, so spaces are limited. Let's get started. Press the link before to schedule your call, and we look forward to helping your practice grow.
What do you say to a blonde that won't come home with you? Have another beer.
One of the things that we hear about from different practices is that their cost per lead is pretty high. It's getting more and more competitive to get good quality patient prospects in the door. I want to show you a new mini consult messenger marketing program that we've developed for practices like yours. This is doing a great job pre-qualifying leads that could be really interested in the services that you offer. This could really lower your cost per lead, but it's also getting a higher quality patient prospect. You can use this mini consultation 2 different ways. Number 1, you can drive new traffic to the mini consult sequence. You can market through Facebook and Instagram or email directly to the sequence. You can do this 24 hours a day, and the messenger sequence finds out more about what the patient's looking for and talks about the different services that you offer. But here's something really cool that it does. You can also use this for retargeting. Chances are good you're already spending money running traffic to your website. Now, most practice websites are only capturing from 3 to 10% of the prospects that are going to their landing pages. Even if you have the best website, there's a really good chance that if your prospect doesn't give up their name, their number, and email address while they're on your site, you may never see them again. But with Messenger, it's a lot higher than that. Studies have shown that approximately 80% of people will engage with messenger sequences. And you can now set up Facebook ads to people who have simply visited your site. Our way, if they go and visit your website, Even if they don't give up their information, the next time they go on Facebook, they're going to start seeing ads that invite them to a free mini consultation on hair loss or whatever your practice specializes in. It's called retargeting. And when they do, they go through a cool little sequence like this that gets the lead info. But here's another cool thing. Once they go through this, you, the practice owner, gets an email like this. This is how they answered the questions on the mini consult and their contact information. You're also going to get a spreadsheet like this one that has all the leads that have come in for the month. And you and your front desk can even get a text notification immediately whenever you get a brand new lead, so your office can contact them right away to even have a better chance of booking them because you're talking to them when they're hot. We even have an incentive program that makes it attractive for them to call for a consultation right away. This ends up giving you better prospects contacting you ready to book. Do you want to see how this could possibly work for you in your practice? Click the link below and you'll see a sample on how this all works.